Hello and welcome. We are doing another episode today, and this one is going to be fairly simple. Check in your air filter. You know, a lot of trucks have a gauge or a sensor telling them about the restriction on their air filter, but that doesn't really replace manual viewing, because manual viewing is always the king of the crop. You know, a sensor can tell you a lot, but a sensor can also fail. Whereas if we actually take the time to maybe look at it and say, okay, I like the way that it looks, or I don't, it's going to give us a lot better results as far as the health of it. And the health of your air filter and the life that's left in it is very important, because the air filter controls the main restriction on your turbo. And your turbo, when it has heavy restriction on it, tends to fail. So that's one of the many reasons that we have to keep a pretty close eye on our air filters, is because you get better fuel economy when your fuel air mix is right, and you're going to end up with a much healthier, happier turbo if the health of your air filter is clean and, you know, not too restrictive. Even though that's kind of what they're there for, is to, you know, take all the restrictions out of it, you know, the dirt, the salt, and everything else that's in the air. But you know, since this is more of an example item, mine is actually still pretty clean. You know, it's pretty white. I don't see any obvious dirt or, you know, anything that causes concern. So we're gonna just stick this back in here. And these can be a little bit of a treat to see, but they're not too bad. Just about anybody can make it happen, especially if you're going to have a nice long career in this field. Now this is for specifically on an International 9400. Yours may differ a little bit, because I run an older truck. I like things that are a lot simpler to play with, simpler to work on. So that's why we go with that personally. But you know, you may have something that has canisters on the outside of the hood, the silver chrome canisters, and hey, that's great. One day I might, you know, be able to touch up and do a little something on that, but for the time being, I work with what I got, and this is what I got at the moment, is just a 99 International 9400, which is a pretty simple old truck. No fancy bells or whistles, but I like it that way. So that's my personal preference. Plus I like the fact that it was cheap. If you'd like to see me get into some more variety of trucks and maybe some different, you know, different models and items like that, just go ahead and hit that like or subscribe button there. And you know, hey, if this takes off, I'll do a lot more variety. But you know, again, if it's something most people don't care to see, then we won't do a lot more variety. So that's kind of up to you guys. But that's the basics, keeping it simple today. So have a beautiful day, and as always, stay blessed.